Here's the question I really have about the ToneMaster Pro. What would you sell to get a ToneMaster Pro? If you're a Helix user, if you're a Quad Cortex user, if you're a Kemper user, if you're Axe Effects, FM9, would you sell any of those units? Would you, having used all this stuff and the FM9 and the ToneMaster Pro, could you see yourself getting rid of one of those units to get a ToneMaster Pro and play it, gig it, use it in that scenario? Because that's really the test, isn't it? Mm-hmm. It sounds great. It feels great. I agree. It feels better than a lot of stuff. The models seem really nice. The effects look great. The screen is great. A couple things I don't love about the UI. We don't have as many options. What is this an upgrade from? What would you get rid of to buy this instead?
I honestly don't know.
It's a good question. Yeah.
I'm thinking, so I have a Kemper stage, and I don't think that I would sell the Kemper stage to get the ToneMaster.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to trade that. So I don't have anything that I would sell to get that.
Yeah.
Right?
My first thought was actually like if I had one amp that I played at home.
Yes.
Yeah.
I might sell that amp and get that with the cabinet and go, now I can actually switch amps.
Oh,
I've got some effects I like on here. Just at home plugging in to an amplifier, I think that would be a better experience for me.
You'd get it with the cab.
Yeah, it would have to come with that, and that would be my rig that I would play at home.
And you'd have all the functionality of being able to take the ToneMaster Pro with you to gigs, play it direct, whatever.
Yeah, but I probably wouldn't. Once I went go out to play somewhere, I would take the Kemper with me. But I would way rather play that at home than play the Kemper like in headphones or even in a...
Why would you would rather play would rather play this over even a Kemper and a Kemper cone?
Yeah, I think it's because of the simplicity. Like there's some upsides to not having performance mode and what rig am I in and what's on or off. Like some of those are just amp, delay, boost.
Does it? You think it helps? Okay. Do you think it helps a lot that it visually looks really good and you can see the gear?
I think so too. Yeah.
I think that's a real connection point that Headrush Prime actually did it first, but I think people didn't love the Headrush as much.
Oh, that's true. I forgot about that.
Because they actually have all the gear and it does look good.
Yeah.
This screen though is better. This touch screen that Fender put on here is really good. I think it's vibrant. It's responsive. Even if you don't think the UI is the best or whatever, the screen is great, and going through and seeing all the pictures, it's a real connection point. I really think psychologically, it's like it's really important, and it doesn't come across in demo videos. Yeah.
No, and I think the other thing about the way that the UI is built that's really, really great is that it stays very true to what knobs are on the actual gear that it's modeling. Does not provide things that don't exist in real life. Right? So that's like one thing about the Helix. One thing about the Helix like Fender models is you're getting controls that those amps don't actually have.
Bias X.
Yeah,
like all these weird things. Or even presence and mid.
Yeah.
Presence and mid-range. They standardize those and just put them on models.
And when you pull up some of the stuff, it's like, no, here this amp only has those settings, and those settings do this thing, right? And so I feel like, and you could say the same about the Kemper too. Right.
Absolutely.
Once you profile something, you get standard controls, which quite honestly, if you're messing with those, then something's wrong.
And to that point, that's actually the strength of the Kemper. So many of their controls don't exist in real life. Right. Clarity, definition, like they're kind of on the side of like, because it's digital, we're almost leaving, like we're copying sounds, but then you can edit them any way you want. We're really not after authentic experience of having the gear.
And I feel like the thing is, and I mean, I've never been a huge fan of the Helix, just full disclosure here, but I think that's one of the worst things about the Helix.
Dislike unsub, by the way.
But it's like, I feel like that's the worst. I feel like that's the weakest point of the Helix is that it's in like this limbo period where it's giving you stuff that the amp doesn't have in real life.
Yeah.
That maybe is good or not good.
Yeah.
But it's also, but it's not exactly true to what it's trying to model. So
I know what you're saying. And the Axe FX kind of does a similar thing, but their thing is like more. Like they're like, we absolutely will give you parameters you don't have in the real world, and we'll give you 1 million of them,
Right.
and set the bias of your tube screamer. And it's like, I don't even know what that would be, but that's their MO, right? Is like all the options.
And there's people that just love to sit and tinker with sounds all day, every day.
Android users. Those are the Android users.
Android
of guitar.
users.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and there's something so simple about just plugging into something, and like you mentioned earlier too, like when you pull up a vibe pedal, it sounds decent. Right. When you pull up a reverb pedal, it sounds good. It's not like everything's at you know.
And I'm back to playing. Like the playing is the whole point.
Yeah,
and that's the at home thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, last point. So you would not sell the Kemper. You wouldn't sell your Kemper, John, to get this.
No.
Suze, would you sell your if you were a Kemper user? Would you sell your Kemper and get this instead?
It would just be amps. I would probably get rid of.
My opinion, and maybe you guys share. Capture Tech is going to win over a modeler for me almost all the time.
Yeah.
Now, with that saying, the modeling might be the best of some of these amps. The deluxe model may be the best deluxe model that exists. You know. Okay. Quad Cortex. You selling the Quad Cortex and getting this? A lot of people feel like these are the closest competitors. Touchscreen. Now editor Quad Cortex has encoder knobs.
Nah.
You selling the Quad Cortex and getting this?
Honestly, I don't have enough experience with a Quad Cortex.
Quad Cortex might not have. A lot of people will say like, oh, it doesn't have as many effects as Axe or something. It's got 1 million amps though, a lot more than this unit does.
Well, and whatever you capture. I mean, the sky's
and whatever
the
you
limit.
capture.
Yeah.
And you can go on Cortex Cloud and find all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. I don't think I would sell any pedal digital unit for this. I think I'm sticking to amps.
Not FM9, not Helix.
I'm kind of there on the same thing. I don't know the FM9 well enough, you know, but
okay. So we'll leave that out. People always get mad that we leave it out, but okay, fine. We'll leave it out.
I'll just gotta start playing with it more, and then I'll know, you know.
Helix, to me, that's the closest. Is this an upgrade to the Helix? I could see how the case could be made. Maybe it depends on what you use in the Helix. Maybe a lot of stuff you use in the Helix is present and there. Would you sell the Helix, especially because we've been doing these comparisons?
Yeah,
there's a video coming out, or it's out already.
If I was only a home player, I would, but because I play out a lot, I would not. And that's just today, you know, with both units. Like I think the Helix is too usable in every scenario, and the Fender I really like for at home, sit in front of it.
Yeah. And the Helix has a lot of options, a lot of effects.
Like for instance, I love the matchless sound on that Helix. It's so good. I can't access that on the Fender.
Yes, right. You can't. It's not even available.